Caitlin Clark's name has always drawn headlines, but this time it wasn't for her deep threes or her game-changing performances on the court. It was for something far more profound. In a league often consumed by drama, contract disputes, and off-season tension, Caitlin reminded everyone what real leadership looks like. While the WNBA was buzzing with speculation over collective bargaining and potential lockouts, she was quietly channeling her energy into something that didn't involve fame, money, or statistics: compassion. Her foundation, the Caitlin Clark Foundation, made a move that silenced all the noise with a single act of kindness: a $300,000 donation to local food banks, providing more than 3 million meals to families in need. It wasn't a headline she sought, it was a legacy she built. What makes this story so powerful is that it wasn't orchestrated in front of cameras or wrapped in a PR strategy. It was genuine, heartfelt, and deeply reflective of who Caitlin Clark is off the court. While players and executives debated financial figures and contractual terms, she decided to focus on something much simpler, yet infinitely more impactful: feeding families who needed it most. And that's what separates her from so many others in the sports world. She didn't need to make noise to be heard. Her actions spoke louder than any highlight reel. Fans across the country flooded social media with praise, calling her the real MVP. And for once, those words weren't about basketball, they were about humanity. Before any Indiana Fever game, Caitlin can often be found surrounded by children, signing autographs, smiling for photos, and making time for every fan who waits to see her. Win or lose, she does it again after the game, embodying the kind of humility and grace that professional sports often forget. And that same spirit flows through her foundation. Founded just 2 years ago, the Caitlin Clark Foundation has quietly grown into a force for good, focusing on 3 pillars: education, nutrition, and sports. The $300,000 donation was more than a number. It was a statement of purpose, a commitment to the community that raised her, and a reminder that success means little if it doesn't lift others along the way. At a time when the WNBA was thick with anxiety over the collective bargaining agreement, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert had just granted a 30-day extension to avoid a potential lockout. The league was tense and fans were growing restless. Rumors swirled across social media about pay disputes, sponsorship challenges, and off-court drama. Then Caitlin's announcement broke through like a beam of light in a storm. While others argued over deals, she was delivering hope. Her partnership with Hy-Vee, one of her early sponsors, led to the creation of a Roundup campaign, allowing shoppers to round up their purchases to support local food banks. What started as a simple idea grew into a regional movement that raised $300,000 and provided millions of meals across the Midwest. The moment felt symbolic. It reminded everyone that sports can be more than entertainment. They can be a platform for impact. Caitlin didn't just write a check. She built a bridge between communities, families, and faith in something bigger than basketball. Parents who once struggled to feed their children now had help. Local food banks, stretched thin by economic uncertainty, found relief. And through it all, Caitlin stayed grounded, speaking not with pride, but with gratitude. She said, "Nutrition is essential to every child's growth and success. By providing meals to families in need, we can help children find the energy and confidence to chase their dreams." Those words carried weight because they weren't rehearsed. They came from experience. Growing up in Iowa, Caitlin saw what struggle looked like. She knew classmates who skipped meals or wore the same clothes to school every week. Those memories shaped her understanding of privilege and purpose. Even as her fame skyrocketed, she never forgot the people who lifted her up along the way: her parents, coaches, and community. The Caitlin Clark Foundation wasn't created for publicity. It was born out of that gratitude. Every initiative she leads connects back to those roots. From donating over 22,000 books to underfunded schools through a partnership with Scholastic, to delivering Nike backpacks filled with school supplies to children across Iowa, Caitlin has made it her mission to give back where it matters most. Her foundation's work with Musco, lighting to build a mini sports field at Weeks Middle School earlier this year, was another example of that mission in motion. It wasn't just a field, it was a safe haven for children, a space to dream, to play, and to belong. Each of her projects ties back to one theme: access. Access to food, to education, to opportunity. She's not interested in temporary fixes, she's building systems that can outlast her career. And in doing so, she's redefining what modern athletes should stand for. Of course, as with any act of kindness in today's digital age, critics emerged. Some tried to twist her generosity into a PR move, claiming it was conveniently timed or media-driven. But those accusations didn't stick for long. Fans and journalists were quick to remind everyone that Caitlyn's charitable work long preceded her WNBA fame. The Caitlin Clark Foundation had been active since her college days, long before cameras started following her every move. Even other athletes came to her defense, praising her for leading with empathy in a league too often distracted by feuds and controversies. The message was clear: Caitlyn wasn't chasing clout. She was chasing change. Her silence throughout the criticism spoke volumes. She didn't clap back or make grand statements. She let her actions speak. That calm confidence, that refusal to be dragged into negativity, has become one of her defining traits. It's why fans connect with her so deeply. She's relatable. She's human. She's the superstar who stays behind after games to make sure every fan gets a picture. She's the woman who uses her platform not for self-promotion, but for selflessness. What's even more remarkable is the timing of her donation. It came just as the holiday season approached, a period when families across the nation were struggling with food shortages and rising costs. Her gesture didn't just fill plates, it filled hearts. It reminded people that even in hard times, there are still good stories, still genuine acts of kindness that restore faith in humanity. The WNBA, a league often criticized for its marketing missteps and internal politics, suddenly had a hero it didn't have to manufacture. Caitlyn's act brought attention to the league for all the right reasons, turning the spotlight away from conflict and toward compassion. In many ways, Caitlin Clark's $300,000 donation marked a turning point, not just for her foundation, but for the league itself. It became a moment of reflection for players, fans, and even critics. What defines greatness in an athlete? Is it points, wins, and awards? Or is it the ability to use influence to uplift others? Caitlyn answered that question not with words, but with action. While the sports world often celebrates those who shout the loudest, she reminded everyone that true strength lies in quiet leadership. Caitlyn Clark's story is a masterclass in humility and purpose. She's not trying to be perfect or polished. She's trying to be impactful. And that authenticity resonates beyond basketball. It speaks to anyone who's ever wanted to make a difference but didn't know where to start. Because Caitlyn didn't wait for the right moment. She created it. So as the WNBA continues its journey through negotiations and media storms, Caitlyn stands as a beacon of what the future could look like. A league driven by heart as much as talent. Her foundation isn't just feeding families, it's feeding hope. It's proof that even in a world obsessed with fame and competition, kindness still wins. What do you think makes a true leader in sports today? Talent, fame, or compassion? Does Caitlyn Clark's quiet generosity redefine what greatness means for athletes? Share your thoughts below, and if you believe stories like this deserve more attention, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more inspiring narratives, and join the conversation in the comments. After all, change begins when we start talking about what truly matters.